Hey, welcome back to the channel. It is Sunday. It's another quiet day in the shop. Well, it's the only quiet day in the shop. Sundays are, I'm usually, if anybody's here, I'm the only one. Saturdays, the guys come in and work on their own stuff, and there's still a little bit noisy, but Sundays, it's quiet in here. So, yeah, let's just do a quick, what's in the shop this Sunday. So I can't do these very often because, you know, it's a build and restoration shop, and, you know, things just don't turn over that fast. Okay, Series 1 E-Type Jag. This is actually an early car. There's Otis. Doing some work on this one. Dino 246. I've had that one in here for a little while. We've been doing a big service on it. Maserati Mistral. It's just been stripped. This is one of two cars that were in a garage fire that we're redoing. This was the better of the two. And we've got it stripped now. We're just getting ready to get the paint off of it and get it down to metal. These are all aluminum, which is a little more entertaining. All right, what we got here? Lotus Elite. Right now, the lights weren't working, so kind of going through and cleaning up all the fixtures. It just kind of, over time, they kind of, especially if they sit, they kind of develop a resistance between the connectors, and lights go dim, you lose grounds, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we're kind of redoing all that and fixing lamps and getting them all working. After that, I think I've got to set the Webers on it. That's about it. Other than that, it's about ready to go. Renault Dauphine, and this is a Gordini. We did a bunch of work on this car. It is, I think it's done. I think we're actually waiting for it to stop raining so we can do a test drive. Abarth OT 1000 in assembly. And he's getting to it, getting the harness in it, wiring harness, routing, and yeah, that fun and exciting phase of wiring. Motor's not in yet, and we're actually just finishing up the motor on this one, and it'll go on the engine dyno before it comes in here. MG TD XPAG motor. It's on one of our run stands, just about ready to light it off for the first time. Ford Model A. Not our normal thing, but I know these things from when I was a kid, and anyway, they keep showing up. This is a Vicky. This is actually a cool little car. I really like this one, and it sat for a lot of years. It was restored. It was sat for a lot of years, and then of course didn't run anymore and things. Anyway, they had us kind of resurrect it and get it so it's stable, and they want to drive it, and they're taking it down to SoCal, I think. And I want to drive it and mess around with it in town, so we're getting it so it's stable and it runs. Lamborghini Diablo. This one's been here for a little while, working on it a little bit at a time. It just had some electrical issues with engine management. We're taking care of that. Over here is of course my build, the Jag. There's the V12 with the T56 behind it, and my build, the Jag XJ Coupe. This is an Aston Martin DB24. We have done the whole front end, everything up here, and now we're doing the rear end. So this was a restored car. It just had some features on it that were not what they needed to be. We ended up redoing the entire front end, everything, and now the rear end. And anyway, it's I say fully restored. It was a decent car. It just didn't have a level of presence that it could have in operation, and we're doing that. Oh, TR3. This one's been here for a little while at the assembly stage. We do a little bit of work on this one each month. But it is really damn close, honestly. It is really, a lot of the interior is done. It's just sitting over there ready to be installed. Dash needs to be installed. So that one will actually go pretty fast, but we only do a little bit of work each month on it. Lights. E-Type Jag, same thing, doing a full build. This is an early car, and it is coming along. E-Type bonnet. Jensen Interceptor. I think get a lot of these. I don't know why, but this one is out of California Bay Area. We're doing a bunch of mechanical, doing a full engine build, a bunch of other work to make it stable. Decent car. Just wants it a little bit more stable, a little bit more power. The engines in these things, it's a 440, but I mean, an awful motor. Well, that's not true. The way they were set up, they're this small valve, and they made very little horsepower for being such a giant motor. You know, they got 6 miles a gallon and 170 horse. They were just horrific. Anyway, we can improve that a lot. Ferrari 330. This is the second car of the two that were in a garage fire, and we're just starting to strip this one to get all the components off of it, so we can get it down and get it prepped to fix the paint. And the heater's gone off. Great. MGTD, one of two that we're doing. Waiting for the body shop. It takes so much labor and so much effort to do bodies correctly. We get held up sometimes waiting for them. Not too bad, but every once in a while. AC Asica. This one has a small block in it that was small block floor that was put in it, I think, like early 70s or 60s. And this is a nice, I don't know if it was restored at once, or I think probably just kind of maintained. Certainly been painted and that kind of stuff. We're just doing some work to revitalize it, and again, it's been sitting, and make it a viable car. 3.8 Jag. This was actually been done, the upholstery has been done for a while, and well, I mean a little while. We're waiting on getting the latches. So this car came to us partially done, and so we're having to fit the door latches to function, which on reproduction parts can be a bit of a trick. Abarth 1000 TC. We're doing the motor, and we're going back in with that. Jaguar XJS, we're putting a 5-speed in it, as well as doing some work on the replacing the high pressure fuel lines. So we have to convert it to a 5-speed with the clutch pedal and all that. And we're also changing the final drive, which is what's going on this table. We're changing gear set, so it's a little bit shorter. The stock, I think, is 288, and we're going to a 330, so that should fit the 5-speed a little better. Corvette here behind paper. This is a split window, and we're doing the motor. This car's original. We're not gonna, well, yeah, mostly original. We're not restoring it. We're doing the same thing. We're bringing it back up so they can use it. It's been sitting for 30-something years or more. We're doing the front suspension, the brakes, rear suspension, brakes, building the motor, going through the trans, clean up the engine compartment a little bit. Nothing crazy, just making it a good driver again. Record Monza is in here in the upholstery area. We are currently making door panels. You know, if you can see that one across the thing over there. all the panels were missing off of this car, and we are recreating them. I think that's all the cars back here. Oh, wait. MG Magnet, this is one we've been working on a little bit at a time. Slowly, it's back here in upholstery, and I think they have been finishing up the headliner. Looks like all the seats are down. The headliner looks good. Yeah. So just finishing that one up. I know we're waiting for the top of the dash to put that to the wood, redoing the wood. We're getting that done right now. And this is our new plasma table, which came in this weekend. It's still on the pallet. We haven't unpacked it yet. So, not a car, but still pretty exciting. All right, let's go into the body shop. Storage racks of parts. Just some of them. We have a whole nother building. You take stuff apart and it takes up a lot of space. Okay, into the body shop. All right, starting at the front here, Lancia Aurelia. This has been metalworked and prepped. It's ready for blocking and paint. Sealed up for now. And came out really nice. Pleased with that. XK140 final blocking, about ready to go in. Actually, it's being all assembled with everything on it. One last time. Sunbeam Tiger. We just got this one in. We got the engine out of it. The frame was tweaked a little bit. So we measured it, and now we've had it on the rack, straightened it. And now it's going to get painted and a few other odds and ends to upgrade that. Ferrari 488 GTB. I don't like a lot of these cars that are this low to the ground. It collected some road rash from debris up front. You put clear bras on them, and it helps, but it still can sustain, damage. So anyway, we've repainted the front of this and gone quite a ways back and re-cleared it, and we're gonna smooth it or cut the paint, and it's just about done. I'll have to let it set for about a month and then do a final cut and polish on it after the paint has had a chance to shrink back just a little bit. The field of parts here, other than that Ferrari valence, is all MGTD, which goes to this car, which is now painted. And this one's actually ready to be cut and start assembling. Another TD over here, and this one is actually about ready for paint, although it may not look like that because the customer wants us to maintain all this patina and restore the car, which is it's tricky to do. It was completely rotted along the bottom, so we had to replace all that metal, and then now we're gonna have to paint it and airbrush it and stuff. It's all doable. It's all doable stuff. It's really tricky to make it look correct. So that's coming. Ferrari 330, we've had this one for a while. All the mechanicals and most of the mechanicals and everything are done. We're waiting on this. They're finishing up the metal work, and of course you get into these and there's always more metal work than you think. And anyway, we're just about there, and they'll start building up and blocking and going to paint. He's fitting components, fitting front, the bumpers, the trim, anything a piece at a time to make sure everything fits, doing the gaps, all that kind of stuff. So that's coming. This is a Ferrari 355 Spider, And this was actually in the same house fire, those other two cars, although the insurance company totaled this one. So we're actually just cleaning it up a little bit, and it'll go up for sale here eventually. We're not going to do much of anything to it other than clean it up. It's actually it's a viable car. You know, it's full paint, of course. Interior's not bad. The seats will need to be done. Windscreen, it'll need to be painted. Engine compartment looks, you know, seems like it came out fine. It didn't hurt it. However, I mean, if I was going to do it, we haven't tried this. This is a running, driving car, and there's no way I would start this car coming out of that situation. It would need to. You know, what needs to happen is the engine needs to be pulled and a full service done, because obviously it was around some heat, and you can't trust the belts now, hoses, high pressure fuel lines, or anything like that. But you know, for somebody who wants to put some work into it, it'd be a good entry point. I'm, you know, always trying to convince myself to do it, but I got enough projects. So it's just the same thing, fitting lights and bumpers and things on this Ferrari here. Further back, the front end, aluminum front end of another AC Asica, who's basically Cobra front end, and Tim has completely reworked and metal shaped and the front end of that. And Mercedes 190 SL, he's blocking that out. He's just about done. A ton of metal work on that. It should be moving over to the paint guys here, you know, pretty quick. This is the back clip of the AC Asica. Again, Tim is metal shaping and putting that back in order. That car is over in Fabrication. The chassis is, because we're having to do a bunch of build on that. The Austin Healey 104, and it's he is just getting ready to start body work. All the metal work is done, and we're just about ready to fly. Takes such a ton of equipment to do this. All right, let's see here. I think the one area I left off was the fab area here where the other AC Asica is. Yeah, so this this is actually Trent's car. Trent's runs the shop, and anyway, he's been working on the floors, and I just felt it was taking up too much space, so he made it vertical, which is fine. It works great. He can work on the floors easily, and no big deal, but I think that's a first. All right, and here's the other Asica, and Trent is reinforcing the chassis and rebuilding it. A lot of broken pipes. Anyway, heavily modified car. And he is making pieces to get it back together. Steering rack, it's some major construction going on to reestablish this thing. It had one, it was modified and poorly so, and then it just had a lot of fatigue. I think he's already replaced this, but these pipes were all fractured. The pipes that these are made out of are incredibly thin, which, you know, is lightweight. That's what they were going for. But you get shit like this, just fractured welds. And fractured pipes over the years of stress, and very thin. And anyway, he's in the process of getting this back into shape, and that's what that aluminum body is for. So I think that's about it. These are some of the cars. We have projects that we have 2 storage facilities where we move cars in and out of all the time. We have monthly budgets on some cars, or we end up waiting for parts and or processes or something, and so we'll put a car away, and so we move them in and out of here. We've got probably another, 2 10 cars in the storage facility that we move in and out of. So it'll change in here a little bit depending on what's going on. But that's what we got for this Sunday. We'll see you on the next one.